Gyaku, our backhand. All right. So one of the major things that I see with Gyaku is people who are punching like this, all right, which is directly limiting the reach of your technique. Okay, it's probably the most common problem that I see is people who are punching down. Now, the reason we don't want to do that, super easy to find out. We reach out our hand flat and put it against a wall, okay? Then go up and down. And notice that your hand doesn't touch the wall anymore. Okay, it's very, very simple to understand. Once our arm goes like this, we've limited our reach. All right, so we always want that arm to be flat with our shoulder if we can help it. How do we then punch to the body? Well, pretty simple, we just bend our knees. So if I want to go to the body, I'm just going to sink down. Now, a lot of the same thing we talked about with our kizami applies to our Gyaku. For instance, our chin position. I want it right on the inside of that shoulder, right? Looking down my hand, protecting myself from anything that might hit me in the jaw or my nose. The other thing that we want to think about is the hip rotation. I like to think that I'm pulling with my front hip instead of pushing off with my back hip. Okay, so one of the things you can do is, just like we practiced with kizami, being pulled forwards, same exact idea, being pulled forwards with our hips and shoulders together, turning that back foot, back hands just flying out, nice and relaxed, back, flying out and back. I like to think that there's this place right on my ribs. It's as if I were to do a shot put or something. Got a big rock right here. I want that hand to come back there because I want to be able to throw Gyaku more than once. I don't just want to be able to throw it and then it be wild as it's retracting. Right? So we've got our basic Gyaku. We want to be able to throw it to the face right from stationary position. We want to be able to sink and throw it to the body really easily and quickly too. When we're stepping, there's a bunch of different ways we can do this. The first way that I learned was from George Kotaka, the multi-time world champion of the United States. One of the best fighters ever to come from the United States, one of the best fighters ever to live. You should definitely look him up. You should definitely know all of his fights. It's really, really good for you as a student. He talks about reaching out that front foot and then turning at the last minute. Now, modern fighters have taken that to a bunch of different extents. One of them is Ayumi Kusa from Japan, multi-time world champion again. What she does is she really reaches out. It's a really long split. And as she's getting to the last second, that's when she's turning and throwing her Gyaku. And she's pressing hard at that back leg. You'll notice something here. My knee never goes past my toes. Now this is from lots and lots and lots of drilling. What you'll notice is that if your knee goes past your toes, your body wants to keep going forwards. We're going to use that later. We want our foot in front of our knee when we want to move back the way we came. So if I throw Gyaku, I want to be able to come back. I don't want to have to roll forwards. I only want to roll forwards if I choose to. Okay? So how do we drill this? We work on that compression movement, reaching out by pulling our hips away from each other, and then last second, turn. Okay? Now, one thing you want to do is figure out where's the optimal place to turn. Sometimes when we're getting hit as we're coming in, it's because we aren't extending our arm early enough. It's what we call lofting. All right? So if I'm going out, punching, and then coming back, I'm probably going to get hit here. That happened to me a ton as I was coming up. Is I wasn't punching early enough, even though I got the upper hand on my opponent. So we want to start that hand a little earlier sometimes as we're coming out to be able to hit our opponent more effectively. Okay? One great drill you can do with this is practicing setting up your Gyaku over and over and over again by bringing your legs into this contracted, strong position. So we do our first Gyaku, one. Now as I retract, there's that ready position. I pulled up my back leg by pulling my arm back, and then I throw my next Gyaku. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. So you can go faster and faster as you get more comfortable. You want it nice and relaxed. 1, really quick, as quick as you can.